Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel for another LEGO build. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Right over here we have Saesee Tiin Starfighter from 2012, which is a pretty cool set. It's not really something that you're going to see a lot of. It's not necessarily like the most uber rare thing in the world, but it's not something you're definitely going to find at every secondhand shop for Legos or anything like that. It's pretty cool. It's one of those like one-off sets, like something that you really won't see made probably ever again, and it's with 3 minifigures that you've also probably never seen before, which is pretty cool. 2 unique Jedis. I mean, Saesee Tiin got a little bit of credit in the main Clone Wars series that everyone relates him to. He was killed at the hands of Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith, when everyone was a little confused when they saw that movie for the first time, and Palpatine just destroys all the Jedi, but Mace Windu and Kit Fisto don't know. Wow, well, that was underwhelming. So, he had a little bit of a checkered past. Honestly, the best Saesee Tiin, if you really want to experience how cool of a Jedi he was and how good of a pilot he was and see, like, the Starfighter in action, go back and watch the original early 2000 Clone Wars series. Even I, like, a diehard Star Wars fan, it wasn't something I ever really watched growing up. I watched the main Clone Wars series that we all grew up with, and that was it. And this past December, I think it was, 2022, I actually sat down and I watched it. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. So it's a really, really good series, and he's very underappreciated in Star Wars culture. So definitely check him out a little bit more. When you're done with this video, Saesee Tiin is awesome. I don't know near as much about the smaller Jedi, but we can get into the minifigures at the end, and the R2 droid, of course. It's a very, very cool set. This set launched in 2012 for about $30, and it's set number 9498 if you're interested in it. If you're buying it aftermarket, if you want it complete, you're looking at about, I would say, $70 to $75 without the box, up to about $120. So again, not the most expensive or the rarest in the world, but it definitely did hold its value pretty nice. Recently, a couple buddies of mine, they do a lot of yard sales. I essentially struck a little bit of a deal with them that, like, hey, if you find a Lego at any yard sale, shoot me a text, and if I'm interested, sold. I'll take care of it immediately, and in exchange, it's like, you know what, I'll buy whatever you need off of you. So very excited to get a lot of yard sale purchases coming here. I actually have a little box full of Lego sets that are older than me, so I'm gonna try and do a video on that. I like obviously building them for the video. However, building a Lego set that is almost 30 years old is a little scary because the brown brittle pieces. I mean, some of the sets behind me are like the 2008 Castle Wave, which not exactly the oldest Lego in the world, and those browns already shatter if you look at them in the wrong direction. So definitely a little bit careful with that. So we'll see. I'm going to be doing a video on them one way or another, whether it's like a combined, here's a bunch of old Lego sets that I just purchased. They're pretty cool. They're neat. They're older than me. It's really cool. But for now, I figured the Saesee Tiin set would be a pretty cool one, especially since I haven't done a ton of Star Wars lately. The Mandalorian duo for the 2 ships, the Venator, of course, which is hanging above me, and then this guy. That's pretty much been it. I've been really busy on my city, which I have plenty of updates coming for that as well. The Winter Village is coming, which I'm very excited to start. Behind me, you can see this is changing probably every day. I keep changing my mind. I just finished up ordering all of my Magic the Gathering stuff for behind me, so depending on how I actually edit this and how long it takes, that could be done by next video, but we'll see. But I did just add Magic the Gathering to the channel, so that's pretty cool. And I'll be doing a lot more with that, Legos, video games, and everything else that you can imagine in the future. So feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know of any weird sets that you would like to see me build. If they're going to make a Jedi Starfighter again, what would you like to see? Please leave a comment or anything like that and let me know. And I will address one quick thing. The new Star Wars announcements for 2024. Lego, you are starting a riot. Now, and I see both sides of this. Captain Rex, Paz Vizsla from Mandalorian, and Moff Gideon. 3 minifigures that have considerable value, and that's this $75 to $100 for the Mandalorian figures, only available in 1 set each. And then Captain Rex, which is obviously $125, $150, $200, depending on the time period and the figure that you actually got. And they will be released in 2024 for $20. Captain Rex, I think, is like $13, $15, something like that, in a microfighter. And Moff Gideon and Paz Vizsla for like $40 or something. I could be misquoting. I just saw it a little bit, and I steered more towards the comment section because, oh, Lego, what are you doing? I understand, like, from a side perspective, like, yes, if I didn't have these minifigures, I'd be incredibly excited because it's great. I think that everyone should have a shot at having a minifigure in your collection. Like, there's no like, my favorite minifigure sitting right over there. It's Davy Jones. You either got him or you didn't. It's one of those things, like, now you're spending $150 for just Davy Jones, and that's not easy for anybody. And I see the side of it from that perspective where it's like, all right, cool, everyone's gonna have Captain Rex. That's awesome. But then on the side of that, it's the dangerous precedent where it's like, okay, one thing as a toy company that you're always careful about is kind of crushing the value of some of your higher end stuff. And Lego Star Wars minifigures are the creme de la creme in terms of, like, valuable minifigures lately. So it is going to be interesting. The Lego community is split right down that line. If you have them, if you don't. That is pretty much how it is. You have a little bit of, like, the middle of the road, the people like me that are going to be, all right, well, I have them. It's unfortunate that the value will go down, but they're in my collection one way or another. And I'll be getting all of those minifigures so I can have them for extra displays. For me, Captain Rex, I have one, and that's in the Venator class. I wasn't going to shell out all that money, despite him being my favorite figure. So, you know, my Battle of Umbra that is off to the side, that I'm going to show off on this set one of these days, I no longer have to use a custom Captain Rex. And now, my frames, which I've hung up behind my city, I have a Clone Wars display, which you can probably see throughout this build, depending on how I angle it. If not, I show it off in, I believe, the Haunted House video. I can put one in there. So, it is one of those things where I do see the benefit of it, because more people can find it accessible to them. But at the same point, I do understand, like, Funko Pops, a thing that I have, like 800 of or something crazy. They started re-releasing Grails, and that really brought the value down for all of their figures, and it really irritated, especially collectors like me, who really did care, like, hey, I have this huge collection, some of the originals, and then the values just started tanking. And Funko, they're fine. I'm not going to get into, like, another company other than Lego in this set review, but, you know, they really left a sour taste in a lot of collectors' mouth. Me in particular, I was huge in that community, with being involved in, like, the releases, being really, really involved in that community, to now not even a little bit. And, you know, they also have a lot of other problems, don't get me wrong. It's too many products, horrible release schedules, smaller companies trying to, like, export their process and tank in it, so they have a lot of problems. But Lego's pulling a bold move here by crippling a lot of Star Wars minifigures values, you know. That's where everyone was panicking when Thrawn came out in the Ahsoka series, because it's like, oh, if I have 10 Thrawns that are worth $200, might be time to liquidate some of those assets. But yeah, that is enough rambling. I did just want to address some of the things happening in the Lego Star Wars community, because, of course, yeah, it's going to get interesting for the next few months. It really, really is. But yeah, guys, so like I said, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely helps with the channel. It's been a great month so far, so let's keep that going. And let's get started on the build, folks. Alright, everybody, and here's the final build. Overall, I mean, every Starfighter is very similar in structure, so I'm not going to say it's the most unique build in the world, but the actual colors of that really dark forest green, and the gold and the white, and even some smaller black trim, the Republic logos on it, it's definitely a very interesting one, and I'm definitely a pretty big fan. The only other one I have is actually Obi-Wan Kenobi Starfighter, which I think I built in this channel, or a little bit beforehand. No, no, no. I did build that on this channel, so this is the second one overall for that. But in terms of the actual minifigures, we do have his droid, which is R3D5. Very Christmassy in coloration. You have that like really holiday green. He would actually look pretty cool in the Winter Village when that actually becomes a thing. And of course, we do have the second main character here, which is Jedi Master Evan PL. He is actually on the Jedi Council. He's more well known in the beginning of the Clone Wars series before his untimely demise. Very cool Jedi, very strong, one-eyed. He's definitely a pretty cool character, and he's definitely very unique as well. So awesome to add him to the Jedi roster over there. And then of course Saesee Tiin is the main one here, custom head print. You have the white arms, almost like the Kenobi and Mace Windu white armed armor for the Clone Wars. Nice tunic, green lightsaber, and then the back of the head you can see has some really cool workings as well. Again, another really cool minifigure. Happy to add 2 more Jedi to the roster always. And then the actual build itself, like I said, pretty cool. The colorations on this thing are absolutely awesome. Definitely do like the dark green. It's going to look really, really nice next to Obi-Wan Kenobi Starfighter. Definitely need to grab Anakin's for sure. I would love to get Mace Windu's, but that's obviously a much harder task, but it would be cool to have like all of the Jedi Starfighters to compare. Right in here, of course, goes the droid. Little 1x2s in there with 1 stud. And then of course you do have the cockpit with the control panel as well. Right inside there, pretty standard for most of them. And then we do have a couple Republic stickers on each of them. The stickers were already on, so this one is definitely a little bit crooked, but unfortunately that's just been on there probably for about 11 years now, so I'm not even going to bother. Then of course underneath you do have a small 1x2 with a slot here for Saesee Tiin's lightsaber when you want to actually put him inside the pilot's cockpit. A couple legs, some flick fire missiles underneath the engines, and then of course a couple flick fire missiles up top. I do like the old missile feel to these. I know the newer ones, like those little launch fighters, the little circular discs, they're fine. I don't know. It's just a nice nostalgic feel to build a 2012 Lego Clone Wars set again. You know, you ever look back at the Clone Wars lineup and you're like, wow, I really wish Lego would bring that back. Slowly but surely, hopefully we're getting there. I'm glad they did Obi-Wan Kenobi Starfighter. Great minifigures, great build, great price. I mean, at the $30 mark, like I said earlier, today's market, it's great. So I'm really hoping that even if we just got like Anakin's again, I think that would obviously be kind of the next one. Now, they are releasing, or somebody's leaking, I'm not 100% sure it is, all of the Star Wars sets for the most part for early next year, and it looks like it's all primarily Mandalorian based, so it's going to be interesting to see what we get. Hopefully some Clone Wars. I would even take some Return of the Jedi sets. I really hope that they do an Endor theme or something like that soon, since the Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clone lineup, you know, it's been lacking lately, so I really hope they start to do something a little bit more with Clone Wars, but you know, that is the tall order of the LEGO community at this point. But yeah, that'll just about do it for this build, everybody. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Let me know in the comment section if you're interested in any other builds, what your favorite Jedi Starfighter is, anything like that, and I'll see you next time. Happy building, folks.